Welcome to the Recon Trader. In today's video, I will share with you an update as far as my experience of staking the time token on the Wonderland platform over the last just about 30 days. And if you missed that video where I actually went through the process of buying the time token and staking the time token, I will drop a link in the description down below for that particular video. But before you go and stake time with Wonderland, I definitely think you want to stay to the end of this video. Right now, the project is getting slammed and being called an absolute scam. So you might want to watch this video as I will provide you with the intel based on my experience. But with that all being said, it is important to note that the information provided in this video is done so for educational and informational purposes only and is not to be construed as investment advice. At the end of the day, you need to do your own recon, and you are the only one responsible for the decisions you make. Now, with that out of the way, the reason I started to even investigate staking with one of these DAOs or these rebase tokens was due to a lot of comments that I was receiving in my videos and over in my Recon Trader Telegram group. And I was basically getting requests for my opinion or to review these type of DAOs or rebase tokens. So I went out, did my recon, and Wonderland pretty much came in towards the top of my list, and there were quite a few pros in its favor. The first pro would be that it was somewhere near the top 100 as far as coin rankings. But with that being said, there are plenty of crap coins in the top 100, so being in the top 100 does not make a project absolutely legit. It just adds perhaps a little to the credibility of the project. The second factor that I liked was I could actually buy the time token on an exchange. The majority of these DAO or rebase tokens are only available to swap on places like PancakeSwap, Uniswap. You cannot find any of these coins on an exchange, but Wonderland's time token happened to be listed on Gate.io, so I was actually able to buy my token on Gate.io and then transfer it to my MetaMask wallet and then stake it. So again, the fact that this token was listed on an exchange meant it had to have gone through some form of checks to get listed on Gate.io. However, you do need to be aware you can actually buy your way onto an exchange. I'm not saying that happened, but you need to be aware of that. Now, the third plus for this project was one of the key figures was a public figure. They were pretty public over on Twitter. They were involved in other well-known projects. So, again, not a completely anonymous team. So that would fall on the plus side for this particular project. Now, when I did actually go over to Gate.io and buy the time token, you can see the transaction down here on December 29th, 2021. I bought time at approximately 3,500 USDT, and I purchased just around 500 USDT worth of the time token. And at that time, the time token was actually holding its value while Bitcoin was starting to sell off. So there looked to be a little bit of strength behind this project. And over the next few days, time actually went up to somewhere around 3,800. And so it did look to have some momentum behind it. So for that first week or two, the price of time actually held its price rather than dropping like so many of these other DAO or rebase tokens. So like I mentioned just about a month ago, I actually staked just around 500 USDT worth of time. And in a moment, we will jump over to the dashboard and see where my investment stands today. But first, one of the last places I go to do recon would be social media, and another plus in the favor of Wonderland was they had a good Twitter following. So along with all those other pluses and a good social media interaction, I went ahead and decided to pull the trigger and stake, like I mentioned, just around 500 USDT. I still was not very comfortable with this platform. I think at the beginning of the video, I actually mentioned the fact that they use the Cheshire Cat as as their mascot, and perhaps that was a red flag because the main feature of the Cheshire Cat is he disappears, and was this team going to make my money disappear? Now, 500 USD to me, I could completely afford to lose it and not miss a beat. So for me, it was worth taking the shot to create this video and try to educate you all on how these platforms actually operate. Now, since we're over here on Twitter, this might be a good point to start taking a look at where this whole project started to go foobar. And one of the first places was when the project started talking about dropping the time token as the key component for staking and moving to the wrapped memo token for staking, which would basically take the use case of the time token and throw it out the window. There'd be no use case for the time token. Now, the team tried to claim that that would be the best move for the time token, but in reality, it was going to throw out the use case and there would be no purpose in owning the time token any longer. That was basically the first step into a minefield that has essentially started to explode on them. The next misstep was this airdrop that never happened. They promised an airdrop based on a January 10th snapshot, and by the end of that week, they would airdrop some gaming token or betting token into your wallet. And I actually went over to my MetaMask wallet. You can see I hold my memo tokens in that wallet currently, and I added this token that they were going to supposedly do an airdrop on over 2 weeks ago, maybe 3 weeks ago, but they well missed their date, and they've pretty much washed all that information that appeared over here on Twitter away, so there's really no mention of that airdrop any longer. So from what I can tell, that airdrop is never going to happen, so they failed there, and now they have migrated away from the time token, and they want you to go buy the wMemo token over on sushi.com and stake that instead of your time. But with that being said, I am still earning memo, so when I unstake this, I would receive the equivalent in time token, which I could then come over here to Gate.io and sell. But as you can see, the price of the time token is now $562 versus the $3,500 I paid when I bought it. Now, the amount of time I have accumulated has almost doubled since I started 30 days ago due to a decent APY. However, I can tell you this amount of memo is not going to be anywhere near my initial investment of 500. And in fact, if I put that amount in here to sell on Gate.io, you can see if I sell right now at around 560, I would end up with about 133 USDT versus my original 500. So even with this insane APY, I am down. And I know people are down a lot more than I am. And again, to me, the amount I invested was meaningless. As the saying goes, you should never invest more than you're willing to lose, especially on these high-risk platforms. And if this isn't bad enough, things actually seem to be getting worse for Wonderland. They are now discussing over on Twitter of joining together Abracadabra Money and Wonderland, which happens to be two of the projects this known character is a part of, and maybe right there in their names are the big hint that this guy is going to make your money disappear. Abracadabra, hocus pocus, watch me make your money disappear. One of his platforms is Abracadabra. His other platform has a mascot that is the Cheshire Cat, who again is kind of a shady character and likes to disappear. And perhaps the fact these two platforms are now looking to merge together as of their Twitter post 8 hours ago is a big red flag that if you send money to these guys, they'll make it disappear for you. But at the end of the day, you need to do your own recon. I did my own recon. I saw high risk. I saw high reward. I was willing to take a shot with money that I could totally lose and forget about. This project is absolutely foobar. And as far as I can tell, the individual running these projects has a house of cards. He's lit it on fire, and he's going to leave you all behind while he covers his own ass. So I think that pretty much wraps it up. If you like this video, do me a favor, spike a like. If you like videos about building wealth with crypto assets, you might want to shoot that subscribe button. If you have any questions or comments, drop them in the comment section down below. And in closing, remember, never send your money into battle without first doing your recon. See you in the next video.